Recording in progress.
Hi everyone! Welcome to another video with us at Indigo. Today, we're going to tackle the biggest challenge that a J2 student will face in the upcoming weeks, preparing for their block tests and the eventual A-level exams while managing their time. Let's go to our experienced tutors ready to share their insights and strategies on how students can conquer their academic goals when they take on their upcoming block tests and A-level exams.
Hi everyone, I'm going to be talking to you today about how to plan your time for your Paper 1 exam from the start to the end of the exam, what you should be doing. So once you get your paper and the examiner says you can turn the paper over, the first thing you should do is select your question. Like how we did it in class. So if you recall, in class we talked about picking questions first, cancelling out questions that you have no content for, and then to cancel out questions that are complicated and you have no idea how to answer them, and then to based on what is left, pick the question that you have most interest and most content for. All this should take you 5 minutes. The rest of the time, you spend your next 10 minutes planning your topic sentences to answer the question. And if you did it this way, your entire planning process would take 15 minutes, and you should have another 1 hour 15 minutes to do your exam. So in the 1 hour 15 minutes, give yourself 1 hour 10 to write your essay, and the last 5 minutes to check. Right? So in this way, you don't panic and you actually have a plan going into your exam. For paper 2, it's a little bit more complicated because you've got 3 different parts to the exam. You've got your SAQs, you've got your summary, and you've got your AQ. I'm going to advise you to do something that is against popular wisdom. First things first, don't read the complete passage. First things first, read all the questions, especially the summary question and then the AQ question, and then go into doing your SAQs. Don't do your AQ first, do your AQ last. Do it in order of the questions. So that's good advice for you, and you won't panic so much and you'll be warmed up for your AQ. For SAQ, your budget should be, for every 1 mark in a question, spend 2 minutes. So if it's a 2-mark question, you should spend at most 4 minutes on it. So that's what SAQ. And then for your summary, spend about 20 minutes, and this includes identifying your points as well. Okay? For your AQ, I would suggest you give yourself about 30 minutes to do that, because that's how long it takes to write a good, coherent AQ. So if we were to calculate this, this is 35 minutes. This is in total 15 minutes. So this would mean that you should have 5 minutes to check again. Right? So I've given you time in both papers to check. Use this time to buffer. If you've got questions that you aren't so sure of, skip the questions and go on. Don't spend too much time mulling over it.
Hi my J2 students, Mr. Tim here. I want to give you guys some advice on time management and also how you should move forward towards your prelims using your MIA exam results, right? So time management first. So for paper 1, for every question, there should be about on average 2 minutes. So there will be some questions that are a lot harder than others. So the harder questions, more than 2 minutes, of course, and the easier ones, less than 2 minutes, right? But on average, you should even off the 2 minutes. For paper 2 and paper 3, for every mark, not question, for every mark, that's about 1.5 minutes. So for example, we're going to give you like an elucidation question, and that's 10 marks, right? Now in that 10 marks, so that's 15 minutes, your brain sees that, you go 15 minutes. In that 15 minutes, 5 minutes, I want you guys to get out your deductions and observations. And the other 10 minutes, I want you guys to get out your structures. Now remember, for this one, if it's 10 minutes for structures, that's really 10 minutes. I do not want you guys to go more than 10 minutes and sacrifice questions at the back, right? So Elucidation, make sure, partition your time properly, make sure that you have enough time for your structures. If you cannot finish your structures in that time, move on, that's fine, right? Don't sacrifice questions at the back. And media exam results. So I think this applies for every single one of you. When you get your results back, I want you guys to comb through your entire paper and look at which topics that sunk you in an exam, right? Do topical revision for those topics first before you start spamming past your papers. So when I mean topical revision, I don't just mean flipping through your notes. I mean reading through your notes, making your own notes if you have to, and spamming as many questions as you can. And remember, as you do past your papers, it needs to be under exam conditions. So don't you dare to go back to your notes and refer to that as you're doing a past your paper. Every paper that you are doing, you should be improving as you go along. And if you're not improving, let your teachers know, because it's a huge red flag. You have to be learning from your mistakes, right? Okay, that's it. All the best, guys.
So first of all, I think something that you're not familiar with will be the formula sheet that is being provided to you. As you are doing your practices, maybe you could refer less to those formulas in your notes. Where can you get your differentiation formulas from, your integration formulas from? Where is the Maclaurin series being located at? So that is something that you should be very familiar with. So next thing first, we talk about the topics that you are going to revise. You know, what topics can be looked at in isolation? What topics are all chained together? Alright, if you are running out of time, which should you focus on? So as you have known by now, your paper 1 is fully on pure math. Your paper 2 is on pure math and statistics. So pure math is 40 marks, statistics is 60 marks. So if you think about it, how many pure math topics do you have and how many statistics topics do you have? You should also complete your statistics topic revisions first, because they are generally going to be tested in your exams. Next up, we talk about which chapters to study for your paper 2, right? Because you take your paper 1, you take your paper 2. If paper 1 have tested you pure math topics on vectors, complex numbers, the 40 marks in your paper 2, right, you will know that vectors, complex numbers are unlikely to come up. How to decide which question to do first? I would suggest that you do the topics that you are stronger at first and do those that you are not as good. Hopefully you'll be good by then, towards the back. Let's say if we have a 3-hour paper with 100 marks, 3 hours is 180 minutes, you need to know how to convert that, of course. Then 1 mark should not take more than 2 minutes. Alright, in fact, it should be around 1.5 minutes to be safe, such that you have some time to check as well. So if you are stuck at one question, do not go and spend 1 hour out of 3 hours trying to solve the first question. The first question may be the toughest for all you know. Alright, just move on. Attempt all the questions in the paper, and especially if you do not know how to do part A, part B. It's a proof question, show question. You can use the answer that you are required to show to do the subsequent parts of the question. So don't, because of one part of question, give up on the entire question.
In your journey towards preparing for your exam, first thing you must do is to ensure that you master your content very well. Content in econs is not just facts, it also involves understanding the content plus the ability to draw the diagrams. It's not just about putting the diagrams, taking up space, but eventually the diagrams help you in your score because you must know when to put in what diagrams. And the second most important thing is to practice interpreting essay questions, because interpretation can get you on or off the hook. When you do not interpret your questions well, you are likely to be running on the wrong track. So if you can interpret the questions, practice regularly, and not just interpreting the questions. After that, you have to structure your arguments accordingly. Apart from that, you would probably need to practice your case studies as well. And most students do not do very well in the 8-marker and 10-marker case study questions because it requires evaluation. Evaluation is a very important aspect of scoring well for your answers. If you do not put in the evaluation, you are merely losing lots and lots of marks. And then last but not least, remember this very important thing, and that is to do time practice, right? Even if you know your content very well, even if you know how to structure your arguments well, without the time practice, you will not be able to handle the stress and anxiety of producing a good answer under exam condition.
Recording in progress.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got some good tips from our tutors. If you're interested in finding out more strategies and tactics to achieve your academic breakthroughs, why not join us for a trial class? Plus, if you're a JC2 student and sign up to our regular program and you don't see an improvement in your grades, you'll get a $200 cashback. That's the Indigo confidence.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. Let me just. And how you guys should approach. One more time, reroll.